Hi guys, I'm an angry chef and welcome to another video. So firstly guys, let me apologise for not getting the London footage out yet. Unfortunately, at the moment, at my disposal, I have an iPhone XR and these here. These two hands. That's what I'm rolling with. I have a couple of guys who are fact checking stuff for me, looking for stories, trying to keep up to date on the socials. We are looking to expand. We're trying to put as much time and effort into this as we can. Unfortunately, I have children. The other person who works on the show, Sandro, who makes the other videos, he has children as well. And with them back to school and stuff, you know, it is difficult. Editing on an iPhone is good, but it's not as good as it could be. Good news though, guys, I have access to a PC and a better studio tomorrow. So we're going to be getting those videos finished up tomorrow and they'll be out for you tomorrow evening. We're going to have one video on the positivity and the energy we saw on the ground. We're also going to have interviews with people who are at the protest, and we're going to be bringing you those opinions because we feel that everyone deserves a voice. That's the whole point. Everyone's opinion has to be brought forward. If we have to fact check it, if we have to do some investigative reporting, we will do. And we'll have a segment coming up in a minute where I'm going to show you us doing exactly that. So anyway, before we get into it, guys, the mainstream media coverage of the London protest, as you are well aware, shows signs of a few arrests and none of the enormous amounts of peace, unity that I saw on the day. The love I saw on that day and the smiles and the happiness and the singing the okie dokie and, you know, everybody having a whale of a time. That was not shown. What was not shown was why people were there, what had brought people out to protest in the first place. For instance, is a little snippet here of my Apple News feed the next day after the London protest. We didn't make it. We tried so hard with all that love, all that energy, all that noise, and we just didn't make it. We had to be Google searched, but oh well. What can I say? Plenty of people there on the day. Hopefully they'll get out there, watch videos, share videos like this, get the message out there. Now to this morning. This morning I woke up after making my video last night about the Bristol riots, and I saw this. There it is, of course, violence, chaos, protesters burning down the streets. I mean, it couldn't be any more obvious, really, could it? A narrative there is clearly being created. The narrative that is being created is so that MPs wake up this morning and when they're on their tube, on the way to work or in the back of their car, they're going to be reading the news, they're going to flip up on their iPhone, Apple News, and there they see it. The chaos, the carnage. Of course they should support Priti Patel. I mean, why wouldn't they? We don't want violence erupting on our streets. What sane person would? But there we go. They chose, just as they did with the London protest. I mean, the London protest, come on. I mean, there was such little happened. The footage they used to try and spin the narrative that day, it was just pathetic. I mean, they couldn't spin the narrative that well. That's why they didn't put it fucking second page news. I digress. On to my point here. Propaganda. What is propaganda? I'm going to cut to myself to explain. You myself. A book I began to read recently is called Propaganda by Edward Albanese. This book helped me. It helped me on my journey a lot. Why has it helped me, you say? Well, I was confused. I was confused for a long time. I knew that what I was getting from the mainstream media was not always the truth, and if it was the truth, it was distorted, and it was always a really big question to me why. And now I think I realise propaganda is a word I've heard it many times before. The book explains how it is used against us, or more should I say, how it is used by an individual to benefit themselves. Propaganda, Wikipedia goes on to say, is an influential book written by Edward Albanese in 1928. incorporated the literature from social science and psychological manipulation into an examination of the techniques of public communication. Bernays wrote the book in response to the success of some of his earlier works, such as Crystallizing Public Opinion in 1923 and A Public Relations Council in 1927. Propaganda explored the psychology behind manipulating masses and the ability to use symbolic action and propaganda to influence politics, affect social change, and lobby for gender and racial equality. Walter Lippmann was Bernays' unacknowledged American mentor, and his work, The Phantom Public, greatly influenced the ideas expressed in propaganda a year later. The work propelled Bernays into media historians' view of him as the father of public relations. Now, in the book, we go on to learn how propaganda is used to change us. To change us how, you say? I'm going to grow wings on my back? No, to change the way we think about things. For example, here's an image that was shared around social media this morning, claiming a narrative. This image has got a lot of tongues wagging. Why do you say? Well, as you can clearly see here, you have a police car that has run out of MOT, burnt down during the demonstrations that happened. So, what's the problem? No MOT. Well, first, police shouldn't be driving with no MOT. That's a must. But not everything is always as it seems, guys, and it's not always as it seems when you watch the mainstream media, and it's not always as it seems online. We have to be careful. Take things from both sides, come to the middle, and there you'll find the truth, or at least something close to it. That's how I like to try and approach this channel. So today, in order to try and bring you that transparency, I'm going to be showing you my journey today into investigating the photo that you just saw. Roll the clips.
Avon and Somerset Police Control Room, Jenny speaking, can I help?
Hiya, darling. I'd like to make a complaint against the police, please.
Yeah, of course, sir. What was the complaint with regards to? Just roughly.
I believe they may have been using a vehicle on Sunday that had no MOT.
Vehicles, no MOT. Our vehicles, but the insurance and that kind of thing doesn't always show up on DVLA, so... But I will make sure it goes to the right team, I promise you.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
Take a note of where it was you saw the vehicle? What? Okay. And was it a car or was it a van? Sorry, I didn't quite...
It's a car, Ford Cougar, colour white, fuel type diesel, date registered 10th of July 2017.
Lovely. All right. Okay, well, so it's not. This isn't something that I can look at myself because I know that police vehicles on PNC, the Police National Computer, they tend to be sort of screened off, if you like. So I will.
All of these. I'll have a quick skim through. We have here vehicle provided for police purposes and maintained in a approved workshop. Guys, this is why we need to be careful. We need to be very, very careful. And we also need to make sure we are training people who have any sort of positions very, very carefully. Police don't have to have MOTs as shown in the clip there. As also shown in the clip there, when I spoke to the policewoman to find out why the police car had no MOT, she was not able to tell me. I could have easily made a video today showing you, oh look, I rung the police. They didn't want to tell me the truth. They didn't want to tell me about the... You know, the government uses propaganda. The government uses psyops. This is proven. It's not hard to learn. But guys, they're a lot more sophisticated than leaving a fucking car on a fucking side street with the registration on it. You can just go to the DVLA website and thingy. Did it seem a little bit dodgy? Yes, it seemed dodgy. At first, I admit, I was a little bit, got off the phone to the police lady, I was like, 10 minutes later, I confirmed to myself that it's not worth chasing. We've got a real battle on our minds. We've got a culture war that we're trying to win. We're not going to win this by spreading more false information. False information that if we fact check ourselves, we can move past. I was speaking to a police lady yesterday. Another gentleman actually was trying to explain to her how Bill Gates has a monopoly and how he pays in funds for so many of these things. He was struggling to explain it to her. I began to help him explain it to her. And she realised, hang on a minute, why is he buying all the farmland in America if he wants us to eat synthetic meat? Doesn't seem to make much sense. You know, sometimes, as I say, the truth is closer to the middle. And that's what we're going to help you find, guys. Any information like this that comes to light, we're going to investigate. We're going to find out if it's true or if it's false. That's what we will do on this channel. I won't always make videos showing you that process. The idea of this video today is to show you the processes I will use. I will do what I have to do to find you the truth. The mainstream media can do this. They can do these things. They choose not to. They could have told you all about Hunter Biden's laptop. They could have told you all about Prince Andrew. They could have told you all of it. But they use propaganda and their social engineering to make us think differently. And that's not a conspiracy, guys. It's a fact. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Stay safe. Be careful what you're seeing online. If you do see something that intrigues you, make sure you fact check yourself first. Anything you haven't got time to, guys, feel free to send it to us. If you see something online that interests you, that makes you go, what? Then send it along. Send it along. We'll investigate. We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll make sure that you have got all the information you need to help you live a happy life, a spiritually free life. And that's it, guys. Till next time, like, subscribe and share. Take care.